dishes. So it's been quite some time since we put up a new episode. I'm back finally. I took a long break because we are expecting a little baby girl coming sometime at the end of May or beginning of June, and I'll keep you posted on that. But I hope you have a very happy 2015, happy and healthy. And we're going to start off with a delicious soup recipe, my roasted cauliflower soup. It's creamy, but yet it's not very heavy or anything like that. I'm going to take you over the ingredients, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to make. So you need one large head or two small heads of cauliflower. Just peel off the ends and the leaves and cut it into sort of equal pieces. I use two small ones because I love to snack on them also. 2 carrots, just wash them and put them in here. An onion chopped up. I already put some of it in here. I'm going to put the rest. Just like a few garlic cloves. Some potato, actually 1 potato, chopped up, the same size as the onions, so that way everything can cook equally. And then we need some heavy cream, just a tiny bit for the end of the cooking. We need some salt, a little bit of oregano, black pepper, crushed red pepper flakes, a little bit of cumin powder, and a little bit of kefalotiri. I don't have kefalotiri, so I'm going to use shredded Parmesan cheese, which is a great substitute. It's going to add that sharpness at the end. It's just going to be like for the garnish. Okay, so basically what we do, it's really simple. You preheat your oven to 400 degrees. We're just going to roast everything. But before we do that, we're going to put some olive oil on these, just a little bit, so that way the seasoning kind of sticks and it roasts really beautifully in the oven. About a half cup. And then we're just going to season these with salt and pepper. You don't have to go crazy with the salt because we're going to adjust the seasoning later on once we turn it into a soup. How easy is that? I normally, when I have extra cauliflower, will make an extra tray of this because it's just that delicious and we like to snack on it. It's great, just this combination itself, to serve with any meat or just eating it like as a roasted salad. So just mix this all up. Just like that. We're going to put it in the oven. The oven is already preheated like we said, and it's going to bake for about 30 minutes. Halfway through the baking time, we're going to take the tray out and sort of flip everything over so that way they cook evenly on both sides. And we'll go to the next step as soon as these are cooked. Okay, so the vegetables actually took longer than 30 minutes. They took about 40 minutes to roast, and you want to roast them until they're tender. So if you cut them smaller, they'll take 30 minutes. They might even take 25. I had some big chunks over here, so it took a little longer. Take your time roasting them. Okay, now the next step is we're going to puree them. But we're going to take the carrots out. I made an extra carrot because I love roasted carrot. We're going to take the carrots out, and I have my pot here. And before I puree, I'm going to take about 4 or 5 broccoli florets out. These are not broccoli, they're cauliflower. Okay, so there's 3, there's 4. That's going to add a lot of texture to the soup, so it won't be just like all puree, like baby food. Okay, so you want to take your mixer and puree these in a few batches. So you can do this with chicken stock or with water. Since it's all vegetable soup, I'll keep it vegetarian and use water. There's so much flavor in these vegetables that you don't need anything extra. But if you want to add a little more flavor, go right ahead. So I'm going to put a little bit of water at a time and just puree them until they're smooth, just like this. And then I'm going to pour them in my pot and keep going until we're done. All right, so all of the soup, all the vegetables are pureed. And let me get my spatula. All right, so I'll get all this out with my spatula. Okay, so I'll get the rest of this out with my water. You need to add about 2 more cups of water to this, and it's going to thicken. The potatoes are a perfect thickener, which eliminates the need for making any kind of roux with flour or anything. So it's not only a vegetarian soup, but guess what? It's gluten-free too, and that's great. I know everybody's looking for gluten-free not everybody, a lot of people are looking for gluten-free recipes, and this is a great one. Okay, so when it's at this thickness, you see these chunks, they're going to break up in a moment. I think I'll add just a little bit more water. It's going to continue to thicken up, and so you want it to not be too thick to begin with because you don't want it to burn. So we're going to bring this up to a boil. Let me move it back here. And while that's happening, we're going to continue to stir it so it doesn't burn. Let me cover it. Every few minutes I'll stir it. I'll chop up this carrot that's going to go in a bit. Okay, so I'm just going to chop the ends off because we don't need those. And this carrot's going to add a lot of beautiful color. And all you need is a little bit. The first time I had this soup was at a tea house with my really good friend Kim. And it wasn't exactly this one, but it was the first time I had cauliflower in a soup, and it was so delicious. They served this in a beautiful china teacup, and it just looked so pretty. I thought, let me go home and try to make this. And so I created my version of it. And every time I make the soup, I remember the good times I have with my friend Kim, who's now in Australia. Can't wait till she comes back. But anyway, back to making the soup. So at this point, we're going to check the seasoning. And we're going to add a little bit of crushed red pepper flakes. I love making things a little bit spicy, so I love adding crushed red pepper flakes to almost everything. About 1/4 teaspoon of cumin seeds, and that's going to add that earthy warmth. Not cumin seeds, it's ground cumin powder. Just about 1/4 teaspoon or so. And let me check if it needs any more black pepper and salt. Let me get a spoon. It's already so flavorful. Okay, it does need a little more salt. So you can season as you go. And we're just going to cook this for a little while on here. Once it comes to a boil, I'm going to reduce the heat to a simmer and let it cook for about like 15 minutes until the big broccoli florets kind of break up. Then we're going to add a little bit of cream and the carrots, and we're going to serve it with some cheese. All right, so the soup has been simmering for about 30 minutes. First it came to a boil, and then I reduced the heat to a simmer, which is a very, very low cooking point. And then as it was cooking, I just broke up the big pieces of cauliflower that are in here, and you can see now there are small pieces. At this point, it's ready for the cream. So we're going to add a little bit of cream, heavy whipping cream, just to add some silkiness to this. And we're also going to add the chopped up roasted carrots that we have on the side. That way they'll retain their shape and they won't get all smushed up in here. And we're going to heat this through. I think it can use a little bit more cream. And I have all of the exact measurements on my website, www.dimitrasdishes.com, so please visit it and get the recipes and make this. And look at it, it's beautiful, it's delicious. All we're going to do is check the seasoning now one last time and add some oregano, and we're ready to eat this deliciousness. Okay, so let me taste the seasoning. We've added the cream, we've added the carrots. It looks so good. I'm going to add a little tiny bit more salt since we put cream in there. And I'll put a touch more of black pepper in here, just a little more. And then I have some dried oregano. I'm going to crumble mine in like this because this is the one that I've dried. We've dried this from our backyard. We grow it and it grows like crazy. If you ever grow oregano, even if you don't have a green thumb or whatever they call it, a gardener's thumb, oregano just grows like crazy. It just keeps growing. You could cut it and dry it on your counter, and it just lasts all year long, and it smells so delicious. So I'm going to put this in my bowl. Now, what's better than this on cold winter days? Nothing, that's right. All right, so I'm putting it in my bowl. Let me turn this heat off because this is all completely ready. And at this point, you want to add a little bit of your cheese. I'm going to get that later. So if you have kefalotiri, use that. Otherwise, put some Parmesan on top of this. Let me get another spoon so I could dig into this. Look at that. Doesn't that look delicious? It's vegetarian, it's gluten-free, it's comforting, it's delicious. So good. Go on www.dimitrasdishes.com, get this recipe. I'd love to hear your comments, post them down below. Let me know if there's anything you want to learn how to make, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everyone. This is so flippin' good. Totally worth burning my tongue for.